All right, so next we've got Jennifer Dalziel and Joanne Byrne from Shirley Road Central. We've got the petition on the hub that obviously sits alongside this presentation as well. So welcome back, and you have 5 minutes to make this presentation to us. Thank you.
Kia ora. I'm Jo Byrne, this is Jennifer Dalziel. We're from Shirley Road Central. You've seen many of us over the past few days, so we'll try and be brief today. You're well aware we've lost our community centre and that we want it back. We are still the lost suburbs of Christchurch, still waiting. This was from a Newsline story a few years back about this, celebrating the number of community centres rebuilt around Christchurch. And Mr Moses, a member of staff, said, "I've genuinely felt like we were rebuilding neighbourhoods. These are the places where people gather and connect as a community, and people really miss them after the quakes. We're still missing ours." These are examples of some of the expenditure around the city, and we've got some really incredible community facilities, and we're very lucky. We've just had the new centre open at St Albans, Kohinga. After 1 month, the centre is at capacity 3 evenings per week. They've had 4 new groups formed in that time already, and over 500 people have just called in. Prior to the earthquakes, they were having 30,000 people call into the centre over a year. You know, and we're now suffering community severance with the new CNC, unfortunately, and the impact on that on the community. And this is our site still at Shirley. We've got a pump track, a temporary pump track, and nothing else. It is an amazing location. This is a photo of the walkway alongside the Dudley Creek. It's absolutely beautiful and such an asset to the community that runs along the back of where we want our new community centre. We have got grand designs for this space, and we really hope that you're going to join us in this. We've spoken to you about how we can fund this. We think it's really manageable in this long-term plan. And we're going to talk briefly about our petition. So our petition is from another group which was called Where is Our Community Centre, and our work has sort of developed over the years since the last long-term plan when we started this work. We've now got over 1,200 signatures online and on our paper copies. This is the wording of our petition, that our community's lost our well-used and well-loved community centre at 10 Shirley Road following the earthquake. We need a new community facility to serve the wider communities of North Richmond, Shirley, Maraha, Edgware and St Albans, east of Cranford. And this is a wordle of the key messages on the petition, to save you all having to read them all. But you know, there's an overwhelming sense of loss in the community. We've got sadness. People want their community. They want a centre back. It was incredibly popular and well used before the earthquakes, and I think it will be again. You know, we've got so much infill housing and social housing going in the area. The population's just going to keep increasing. We've got huge population diversity, and we want a facility that will meet the need of everyone in our community. We'd like to say thank you for the support of both Poto and Duncan, who we've talked to about our work. And really all we're here today is to ask for a bit of equity for our area. We need a box. We'd like quite a big box, but that's all we've come to ask for today. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. So we do have time for questions. Are there any questions on this? Mike.
Thank you. Thanks for your submission. It's really, really good. And I think your idea of having a library and community centre combined within the 10 Shirley Road is actually excellent and has merit. My question though is, obviously there's an existing library by the Palms. What do you think will happen if that library was moved and put into 10 Shirley, the community around there that use it? Do you think they would go to?
10 Shirley Road is on 4 bus routes. We've had lots of people who signed the petition state that they find it hard to park near the library in the current position, and older people, they're having to park on top of the roof of the mall and then walk all the way down through the mall. So I think the new site would be far more accessible for far more people.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Pauline.
And I think that's a really attractive option too, if it was to come to fruition. But if that library option was not there, how then do you think we could sort out funding for a centre there?
Well, I still think there's plenty of money to be made out of the sale of the excess properties on Hills Road and Slater Street, and from the developers' fees and the proceeds from all of the building that's happening in the area. You know, it's just huge. It's going to get really, really busy. We're only 5k from town. It's such a great location, and, you know, instead of doing little pepper pot developments around the little suburbs, we'd rather have one decent facility to serve all of the areas that we've spoken about in our petition.
Right, and yesterday we had a comment from the Richmond Residents and Business Association, and they were not so, they had an opinion not to support a centre there. Are you guys kind of in conflict, or do you see that you could work together and there is a need for both?
I think we can be very complementary. You know, we're really, really grateful for the support of the St Albans Residents Association in this process. They're really busy in their new centre. RRBA have got Avebury House running at capacity. There's been a new property acquired on Vogel Street that's also well used. There is such a shortage of facilities in our area, and I think it's really important that groups that are funded by council continue to support each other in the work that different groups do. It shouldn't be a competition, and if we've set up a system that puts community groups against each other, there's something really wrong with the systems out there.
Thank you. I am going to need to bring this to a close, unfortunately, because we are well over the 5 minutes. But thank you very much indeed for the presentation, and obviously the petition which is in front of us this morning as well. So thanks very much indeed for the time spent presenting to us this morning.
Lovely.
Thank you.
We don't want to be back in 3 years, so please see us.
Thank you. All right, moving on to